Welcome to Conversations by Keohane. My name is Joe Reardon. Cremation is a wonderful method of disposition. In fact, in 2016, more Americans chose cremation than chose casket burial, and that trend is increasing. The great thing about cremation is that it is a form of immediate disposition, meaning that something has to happen after a person has been cremated. Today, we are going to focus on the disposition options available to people who have chosen cremation. Of course, with casket burial, you're limited. A person is buried in the ground, there's a monument or a marker, place to go, but it's limited to just that form of disposition. With cremation, there are basically three types of disposition. And in three separate episodes, we are going to address permanent memorialization, scattering, and keepsakes. Today, let's look at permanent memorialization. Many of us are familiar with cemeteries, with perhaps visiting parents or grandparents who have been buried there over the years. Cemeteries are a wonderful opportunity to connect with people, to see that they existed, and feel their presence, the presence of the people in our lives who have died. But it's not limited to just people in caskets. In fact, there are multiple options for permanent memorialization in cemeteries. The first would be for sections of cemeteries that have been designed specifically for people who have been cremated. They design gardens or perhaps different sections that have smaller lot sizes to accommodate people in urns. Another great option, one that people don't often consider, is being buried in a lot that is already existing where, say, perhaps your parents or your grandparents were buried in caskets. In most cemeteries, in addition to casket burials, they will allow one or perhaps two urn burials in the same grave, allowing children perhaps to be buried with their parents. A lot of people are unaware of this, and as a result, when they find out, they're thrilled to know that they could be buried with their parents, even though there is no other room for caskets in those graves. That way, their children, other family members can come and visit and see the family name, see the individuals' names, and be able to connect with them, knowing them that they're there. The other option would be to be placed in what's known as a columbarium niche. And many of us would be familiar with the term mausoleum, an above-ground space where people can be placed in caskets. A columbarium is a similar space, only it's designed for people in urns. It's a smaller space. Typically, 2 urns can be placed there. With the columbarium, you have the benefit of having a space that's above ground. It can be engraved, you can have your name there, and people can come and visit and connect with you there. Now, in the winter, that's especially helpful here in Massachusetts, where everything is above ground and you're not worried about snow. The third and final option for permanent memorialization is a scattering garden. Some cemeteries in our area have what is known as a scattering garden. It is an area that may be wooded or have a garden-like atmosphere where persons may be scattered and then have their names inscribed on stone or on some sort of plaque indicating that they're there. So much like the columbarium niche or earth burial, there's the opportunity to see the person's name, connect with them, know that they're there, and frankly, know that they existed. Because without it, there's no record of the person having existed. This way, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, those who are doing history classes can go back and look and say, hey, that's my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, and be able to visit them. Each of these permanent memorialization options are opportunities for families to consider, but they aren't the only opportunities. In our next episode, we're going to consider scattering as an opportunity for final disposition. It's an option people talk about a lot. It's an option that's been romanticized a lot, but it's an option that has some practical considerations that many people don't consider. So I look forward to seeing you next time with Conversations by Keohane when we'll be talking about scattering.